Hey, I'm Melissa Carter, and I would like to teach you how to make English toffee. You know, all that wonderful toffee that comes in tins in the mail catalogs. Well, it's expensive, and you can learn to make it easy and quick in your own kitchen. We're going to go over our ingredients today, and my son Ben is going to be our helper, and there he is. And so we are going to get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need toasted almonds. These are, you can buy anytime you want, just you can toast them at home. Second of all, you'll need a pound of dark chocolate, and I have extra dark retard chocolate. You'll also need 2 cups of butter, which is equal to 4 sticks, and we have that right here. You'll also need a 1/4 cup of light corn syrup. You'll also need regular sugar, our main ingredient, and that calls for 2 2/3 cup. And let's don't forget, we need 1/3 cup of water. You're also going to need some silicone mats, or if you don't have that, you can get. Ben, give me that, please. You'll also need a cookie sheet with foil on it, and you'll need to put butter or Pam spray on it because you don't want your toffee to stick when it's done. Okay, I've already got my ingredients in the pot. We have put in the sugar, we have put in the butter, we have put in the water, and we have put in the Karo syrup. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to let the butter melt, and we're going to bring it to a bowl. Now, I don't happen to have a candy thermometer, but if you have a candy thermometer, you bring it to 300. Let it boil on medium heat and melt it and keep stirring it. You may need to brush the sides around the pot to make sure the sugar does not crystallize. You'll also, if you don't have a candy thermometer, you will need to get a bowl of ice water and put it directly beside your pot here. Now this is going to take quite a few minutes to boil and to cook. So we're going to just keep stirring and keep stirring. Now if you get a thin film of butter on top of your sugar mixture, you need to stir a little bit vigorously to mix it in. You do not want the butter to settle on top of the sugar. You want it to be incorporated and mix it in. What we're going to do is we are just going to keep stirring and stirring and stirring until it starts boiling. And you're going to probably let it, once it comes to a boil for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to do a check test, and we're going to try to take this all the way to hard candy stage. Now hard candy stage is what makes the candy crunchy. We are still cooking, and you really need to watch your candy. It has not started boiling yet, but it looks like a sugary syrup, and it looks so buttery. Now what you're going to do, and when it does start reaching the 300-degree stage and it starts getting that cracky and sticky, whatever, you really have to watch, because from that point on it will start to cook quickly, and you definitely don't want to scorch your candy. So we're going to stir some more. We'll see you in just a sec. Okay, now we are still stirring. It has just started to boil, and it looks very foamy. We are still stirring. So we're going to look at our timer, and we are going to try to get it in 5, check it at maybe 3 minutes, and then check it again at 4 minutes, check it again at 5 minutes, and see how the consistency is coming. Okay, we are going to show you what this looks like. So if you'll put the camera over here, and we can show you what the mixture is looking like in our pot. It is a foamy, thick consistency, and it has been boiling now for about 1 minute. Okay, we are still cooking. So it's going to take a few minutes, and we are getting a really good consistency. You want to be sure to scrape the sides. Now, you will also need a greased pizza cutter or a knife. You also need a greased spatula or something you can spread the candy out with when it's done. And I'm sorry, I should have told you that in the beginning, but if you have a helper like Ben, they can get it ready for you. Alright, so here's what softball stage looks like. It is a very soft, you can mold it, and it's still sticky, but you can mold it, and so it's not quite ready yet. Okay, now what we're going to do, our mixture is getting a very beautiful golden color. So we're going to show you what this looks like so you will have an idea that at this point it's going to really start cooking fast. Alright, so now it is a golden, brownish, beautiful beige color. So this means our candy is getting close. Alright, so now we're going to do another check because it's been another minute. I'm going to drip it in the ice water right here. It's still in softball stage, but it is getting harder to touch and is getting more, we can form it easier. So we are getting close. Now we are really turning a golden brown color. So what we're going to do now is we are going to check it again. This is where we start checking it more often. We'll let it sit in the cold water for a minute. It is getting crackly stage. See, it's starting to take shape. So we are almost there. And the longer it stays in the water, it is getting hard. So we are about there. I think I'm going to turn it off now. So we're going to turn this candy off, and we are going to stir it. Now here's where you got to be careful about pouring this. So we are pouring this on our sheets. Now we want to be careful that we don't overflow the sheet. It is really hot. Spread it out. You're going a little bit over the side there, but that's okay. Now, what we have to do here is we have to let it cool down for just a moment. And I'm going to show you how glassy and beautiful it looks. Now this toffee looks beautiful. Now it is too hot to touch right now, but in just a moment we are going to score it. So we have our pizza cutter, and I'm just going to test it with the pizza cutter. It is almost ready to score. It will set up very quickly. So what you need to do is just keep testing it, because what happens, we're going to score it a little bit so that it will break when we get ready to put it on our plates and serve. Now you do make sure that your pizza cutter is greased, because if not, you might have some sticky stuff going on. Now, you also have to work a little bit fast at this point, because we are going to put chocolate on top of this, and then on top of that we are going to put our almonds. So what we're going to do is take our chocolate chips, because it's hot, and let me show you first what this looks like before I sprinkle the chocolate on the other one. You have the toffee is scored, and it looks like the piece is already cut, so when that hardens it will break. So what we're doing here is we are sprinkling chocolate chips on the toffee. The heat is going to melt these chocolate chips. So you want to sprinkle, it says a pound, and this is not quite a pound, but it's going to be just enough, I think. Ben's going to use some of that. And the heat is going to melt the chocolate. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is you want to put your almonds on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our toasted almonds, and we're going to, I've got sliced toasted almonds. You don't need a whole bunch. This is mainly decorative and to give it a touch of flavor. You do not want to put it in the refrigerator, because what happens when you put it in the refrigerator, moisture gets into it. As you can see, our toffee is about done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pieces, and they're going to break really easily into pieces. So we have our toffee done, and it is yummy. Here is the piece right here. It is beautiful. It is crunchy and delicious. Hope you have enjoyed Creative Cooking with Melissa, and we hope you'll come back and hope to have some more cooking shows for you. Thanks. Happy holidays.